And we are back. Episode number 24 of Two Addicts and a Moron. Now, 24 is real big. I don't know what the fuck we did in life to deserve this man coming in and sharing with us. But, you know, as we all say, as you were telling us before, this is God. You know, I mean, it really is. Call me a believer. But Frank Parisi, everybody.
Yeah,
Frank Parisi.
Frank
Look at this
Parisi.
fucking...
I'm
Hey.
here.
Let's go.
I'm here.
Now, the reason why we are so
Thanks for
blessed,
having
that
me.
is a man of flesh and bone. But this man has a book. I'm going to show it to you right now. Embrace Abundance. Now, I have heard, again, I'm the moron. I'm the ignorant one. I did not read this on purpose because I wanted him to go through it and tell his story. But I will be reading this the moment we leave this podcast to check it out. But we're going to go into some introductions. But I wanted to show this real quick. Embrace Abundance. Go buy it wherever stores are. It's a bestseller in 3 countries. Holy shit.
Wow.
Man.
Yes.
Congratulations,
Thank
my
you,
brother.
brother.
That's fucking
That
dope.
is huge.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Well, in the middle left, Joey the Moron.
And to the left, Jay Klein.
Mike Stuboy, Addict Meth, GHB.
Frank Parisi.
Frank,
Embrace abundance. I don't even know what I am. I'm following God. Following God. That's it.
Let's go.
let's go.
love
This
it.
one's going to be fun, man.
Nothing.
I feel like we had a podcast before we
No,
even
I
said
podcast.
go.
We
Like,
did. Yeah,
I
real
mean,
shit.
we
About it.
talked and chopped
Yeah.
it up.
I know.
Dude, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we have our tradition. We're not going to break it. But
Never that.
let my man Jay Klein take it over.
Yes. Like we do with every episode, let us get present. Let us get centered. Let us get focused. Let us bow our heads, close our eyes. Think about the addict out there that's still currently struggling and suffering. Their friends and family members that are struggling and suffering with them. And the addict that unfortunately could not be with us today. Moment of silence, please. Thank you.
All right. Well, like I said, episode 24 gonna be real big. This man has a story, and this man is doing a lot of good in just the universe right now. And I can't wait to get into this. So, Frank, I'm just gonna ask you. You know, you're a recovered addict.
I am sober 13 years. July 21st to 2011. I just celebrated 13 years.
Let's
Hey,
go.
let's fucking
Yes.
go, man!
Let's fucking
Congratulations.
go.
Glory to God, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving me a moment of clarity.
And what was your DOC?
Main was OxyContin, but I would dabble with the Xanax, cocaine, and then eventually that would lead to crack. Smoking that crack.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how did it begin? How did your journey into addiction begin?
Okay, so I grew up in the Lower East Side of Manhattan in the late 70s, early 80s. My neighborhood, just to give a background, the neighborhood I grew up in, Little Italy, was rough at the time. Crack cocaine just hit New York.
Yeah.
It just hit New York and LA. Where I grew up on the corner of Elizabeth and Bleecker Street was the spot. I actually grew up down the street from the first ever Def Jam Studios for any of the hip hop heads out there.
Most of it.
And then also around the corner from an old punk rock club called CBGB's.
Oh, hey.
CBGB.
So a
Now
lot
you're
of stuff
talking my
popping
language.
in my little block
Yeah.
radius. Along with the neighborhood was prevalent with the Italian mafia at the time. I was 2 blocks from John Gotti's social club.
Whoa.
I grew up on Elizabeth Street, and so there was a lot of things going on. And within that, I grew up on 290 Elizabeth Street above the famous Parisi Bakery. It's been in my family since 1903.
Nice.
It was underneath it. So I grew up in this really crazy environment. The city was nuts. There was a lot of stuff going on. Hip hop was new. Had this punk rock stuff going on. Crack cocaine down the street. The mafia was prevalent. And my father and uncles would keep like about 5-6 baseball bats at the front of the bakery. And if any crime were to go down in the front of the bakery, they would tell them, listen, guys, you got to go down the street. And if they didn't comply, out would come the baseball bat. So here I am, 4 or 5 years old, watching grown men getting baseball bat beatings, you know.
Ooh.
So that was kind of the imprint of my life. There were so many experiences like that. So my world was never safe. My mother always told me when we ride the subway back to the wall, do not make eye contact with nobody. You know what I mean? The home wasn't really safe either. Within my home, my father was addicted to cocaine. So that's something that we don't let the street know.
Yeah.
You know? So it was just always hiding that secret. You know, my father was also involved with organized crime. And so were some of my family members. In my home, it was my house. In my family, it was you come to my Christmas dinner, it'd be like some gangsters and it'd be some cops.
Yeah.
What a mix.
So it was very confusing, my life growing up. And around 12 years, my father sold drugs. He passed away like over 3 years ago. It's all on Google. I don't care anymore.
Sorry about that, brother.
It's all right, man. We'll get into that story too. But it was just the imprint of my life, being involved in brought into a life of crime, brought into an Italian bakery, into an enmeshment of a family. And then having been around a lot of traumatic events from a childhood, it just led me to feel different than everybody, bro.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be around people who had normal lives. So I chose to hang around guys that had similar homes that I did.
Yeah.
I want to touch on, like, I don't care where you are in the United States. There's got to be no place, no city than to grow up in New York City.
Without a doubt.
What? I can't
It's the greatest city.
It's the greatest city.
Yeah, like I was just there for 3 weeks this summer.
I
just
couldn't
came
imagine
back.
growing up there as a kid.
It's the greatest city. I mean, you have the most culture, you know, the most diversity. So you become a little bit more like I for me in my life, I could be with anybody.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
the same way, yeah.
Yeah, and that's beautiful because you could connect with more people.
Right.
Yeah.
Your mind's more open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's just so much culture. You know?
Yeah.
You go to this Little Italy, this Chinatown, this Alphabet City. Every neighborhood's different ethnic, so you get different ethnic foods, different ethnic back. Like I grew up, my friends, even though I grew up in Little Italy, my friends, we were like the United Nations, bro.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It was neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So very different. Definitely the best. I love it. I was just up there with my son, like last week, 2 weeks ago, and just being in Little Italy in the summer. There's like to me, it's like the most magical place to be in the summertime for me.
Man.
You know?
Wow. Yeah. You hear the other side of it too. There are people who don't like it. And then there are people who, it's one of those things that I feel like, I mean, to your point, it's like you love it or you just don't.
Yeah.
Right? There's like no, like, you
Or
never
you move-
hear New York's okay.
Yeah.
Or there's always like,
I have so many memories. there.
yeah.
My mom is from Yonkers, and like I'm the only one from Texas out of my family. My mom, my dad, my 2 sisters, my brother, all from New York. They moved here, and I was born here. And my mom, our whole life was, we're gonna move back to New York. We're gonna move back to New York because Texas isn't as good as New York. You guys are missing out on growing up and this and that. Still to this day, she talks about New York's the fucking greatest place to live.
Yeah.
Like to this fucking
Oh, yeah.
we had to hear this our whole life.
Yeah.
And then the women in our neighborhood, my mom was the tough one. Like
Yeah.
she would beat up all the other women in the neighborhood.
Nice.
Like, and she would say these Texas women, all they do is talk shit. They ain't about it. They're not about that life. She would be in the road trying to fight him in her fucking nightgown. Like her kids were the worst in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But none of the other parents would say shit about us because Sandy O'Brien's gonna beat your ass. Like, so you say something about her kids. I don't care if they spray painted your house.
Yeah.
You say something about her kids, she's whipping your ass in the fucking front yard.
Yeah.
So that's how she's. These Texas women are not the same as New York women. They don't. They just talk shit. Is
Yeah.
what we had to hear all.
That's funny.
We would go to garage sales, and my mom would try to fight people at garage sales because they grabbed an item before she did, but because she looked at it first. That was her fucking item. So I will beat your fucking ass for grabbing it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was insane. But that's what we grew up in.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, I just went back like 2 weeks ago, and I love it, but it's. I went back. I'm driving back. I'm at Staten Island on Richmond Avenue, and there's a fist fight. We drive up another block. There's a kid running out, pulling stuff out of his pants. He definitely robbed the store. Yeah. You know, it's like the freaks are out tonight. You know, but it's like the energy. You know,
Yeah.
I like it out here now. But
Yeah.
the energy, it's good to hop back in.
Yeah.
Then you come back to the sanity.
little chaos
Get
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
We like
chaos
gets
still.
little things stirring.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
So, 13 years recovered. Congratulations on
Yeah,
that,
brother.
man. So, how long were you in active addiction?
Man, well, I started smoking pot at like 12 years old. So, and I smoked pot every day from
Yeah.
12. But it got real bad in my early 20s, man. And I was in addiction heavy for about 8 years.
Okay.
It was a good 8 years of just misery. I had a year sober in between.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 8 years of just misery, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Oxy, how did that come into your life?
Man, I mean, it was just we just found it. Started actually with the Vicodin.
Mm-hmm.
Then you graduate to the Percocets, the Perc 5s, the Perc 10s. Staten Island became real because then I moved to Staten Island later on. It became very, very like there was a lot of doctors that were crooked, so people were able to get a lot of the prescriptions. Just going, I got back pain. And then once that floodgate opened up, it was just like the whole island got so addicted, bro. It was really, really bad.
Pill mills.
Pill mills, bro. Like doctors that were around for years that now have security guards outside the
Whoa.
doctor office on Staten Island.
Wow.
Yeah, it got bad. Everybody started to get real addicted. And with that, I just became very addicted well, bro. Like I was doing at one point, fuck, if I had enough money, I'd be doing like 8, 9 80s a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, high habit. Start the day with 2 80s in the Xanax.
Whew.
You know what I mean? And then blow coke. It took me down a dark cycle of addiction. You know.
But what started? It was just the weed, and then you wanted to experiment.
I
further
mean,
from
it was
that?
the weed. It was just the pain of my life, my dude.
Yeah,
like
right.
my life was so fucking painful, brother. Like my whole life, like growing up and all that shit. Like New York was dope, but like the pain of my home, the pain of my childhood, the pain of that fucking life, bro, is like the only thing I knew was to numb it, bro. Like the weed runs out, so it's like then it's the alcohol, but that wasn't it. When I found the pills, I was like, this is it, bro. But then with the fucking pills come like, man, one's not enough.
Right.
Now I need 2. Now I need 3. Now I need 4. And I remember it was like the year that the Houston Astros had opened up the Minute Maid Park. It was the All-Star game. Yankees. I just remember sports for some reason. The music brings back memories. And I remember I was living at my parents' house at the time, and I remember the All-Star game was on. I remember like the whole Yankee team made it that year. They had they paid all this money. They wound up sucking, never winning World Series.
Yeah.
They got A-Rod, Giambi, all these guys. They won nothing. But I remember watching the TV, and I didn't have the pills, and I started to feel fucked up for the first time, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I realized I was fucking dope sick.
Yeah.
I was strung out at that point. Whatever year that was when I knew I was strung out at that point.
Yeah.
You know? I was always, like in my neighborhood, because of who my family was, the bakery, my father, all this shit, and then me being tough with my hands, we were looked up to in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So the last thing I'm going to do is start to tell anybody what the fuck's going on with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I keep that shit a secret for a long fucking time.
Well, you said it with your father too. Like we don't talk about that in the streets, right?
Never.
Like, what his problem in the streets is.
Never. Nobody knew of my
nobody-
father because he would lock himself up.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's a blemish.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Not me, though. I would be out. I wouldn't lock myself up.
Yeah.
I'd go to the gym. I'd be benching like 315.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm at the Coliseum. I just popped 2 80s and a Xanax and did a line of Coke, and now I'm ready to bench 315 with DMX and Metallica.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was your pre-workout.
Oh, that was my pre-workout. Yeah. And then I'd like nod out in the gym, and they'd be
Dude,
like,
I've been there, dude.
yeah,
Dude.
they're like, get him off the machine, and the owner's like, I'm not getting him off the machine because I would fight with everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not touching
Dude,
that motherfucker.
I used to do the same thing because I felt like it gave me like I couldn't feel because I was on so much heroin and fentanyl, and then like I would go in there and I would be for some reason I thought it'd be a good idea to go to the sauna afterwards, and then let me tell you
Sweat
something.
it out.
2 hours.
Well, no, if there's any place you don't want to nod out at,
It's a sauna.
it's a sauna, and then you're getting woke up like, sir. Are you okay?
You've been in here for 3 hours. Like I'm fucking raisin.
I'm having a heat stroke. Should we call you an ambulance? I gotta go.
man.
God, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's
You,
funny.
true story.
Yeah.
I'm not waking him up. I said this a few episodes ago. I took my daughter to the movie theater, and when we go watch a movie, I'm falling asleep. There's no doubt about it, especially if it's a cartoon. And apparently, some fucking Karen complained that I was snoring.
Well,
right? So they sent the
first of all, don't act like that lady's a bitch. You were snoring in a movie.
Well, that's
Yeah.
I mean, like
we were in the bottom row. So they sent the manager to go wake me up, and he comes over there, and I'm in one of my fucking wife beaters, and he's getting my daughter. He's like, "Hey, can you wake your dad up?" Because he didn't want to wake me up, and she's like, "Oh, he's not getting up. He's not waking up." And he's like, sir, and I woke up, and he was like, "Look, I'm sorry. Like someone was complaining. I didn't want to wake you up." And I was like, "It's cool, no big deal." But I'm like, "Who the fuck complained?" And then when we seen him when we left, he was like, "Sir, I'm sorry. I didn't want to wake you up. You're a pretty jacked dude, but I had to." And I was like, "It's not a big deal, bro. No big deal." But yeah, it was kind of embarrassing after I walked out. I was like, "Fuck, I fell asleep drooling on myself." And I wasn't even high. I was just fucking watching Despicable Me or whatever the fuck we were. But yeah.
Funny.
So, I know you said that you realized that you got dope sick,
Yeah.
and that for the first time, where you were like, "Man, I'm strung out."
Yeah.
Is that when you realized that you had a problem, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because now I knew I was like dependent upon these things.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah,
And there was no way I was letting anybody know.
yeah. So,
You know?
through that addiction, through being, realizing it there, and then just kind of powering through it, just keep working through it. Was there something that happened that made you realize that, I've got to get better?
Bro, I battled for years with that.
Yeah.
You know, I went to treatment 3 times. The third time, before I went the third time, I overdosed on methadone and Xanax.
Whoa.
And my wife found me, who was my girlfriend at the time. She felt something was wrong with me. I was at my friend's, he opened up a deli on Highland Boulevard. And we were celebrating that night, drinking and stuff. They didn't know. They weren't getting fucked up like me. I was taking the pills. And she felt something was wrong with me that night. And it was like another guy. Like, there's been things guiding me in my life for a long time, energies. And she felt something was wrong. And she would never at that time at night come to my parents' house. But she felt something was wrong. And she came to the house and found me dead in the car and had a key to the house. And my father threw me in and took me to the hospital, bro. So at that moment, it's like, I knew I had a fucking problem.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean? I knew I had a problem. The problem with the problem was that I had so much shame and so much like guilt, especially once I was in the ICU in the hospital, and now people started to know what had happened to me.
yeah.
The shame was so unbearable that my mind, the only thing I knew to treat that was to go get more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only thing I knew to do to treat that was to go get more. And it kept me in that cycle a long time, my brother. They sent me up to upstate New York, and then they said, all right, you've been here 3 times. We think you need to go somewhere. Because I've been in and out of jail too, bro. I don't even know how many fucking times. And you got to go somewhere long term. And they said there's a place opening up in Texas. And that's what got me here in 2006. I went to a place out in Elgin, Texas. And it woke me up. It woke me up, but I didn't continue down the pit. That's why we say don't ever fucking give up.
Yeah.
Never give up. You know, even if things get bad, never give up. Still continue to process. Don't worry about the result. Just continue to fucking process. And I didn't do that. And then I went back out. You know, I went back out after about a year sober, and it was fucking same pattern. Let's go back to New York. Because we all fall back into patterns. If we don't put the new iOS programming into the brain and upgrade the system, we go back to old patterns. You know, and we think because our eyes are open that we're awake, but we're asleep dreaming we're awake.
Yeah.
And we go back to the same thing. I went back to that same thing. I went back to that same life. So I was a street guy.
Yeah.
So I went back to that life when I went back to New York. Back to the insanity, back to in and out of jail and the insanity of the street. It got way more insane after tasting what we taste today. This sobriety and knowing, working the steps, having an experience, being awakened to this stuff, seeing how I truly operate in that 4th column. Because I know you did that work. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Waking up to this shit and then going back to that life, man. Oh, that's fucking even more painful. What am I gonna do with that? I gotta get more fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So came to Texas.
Stood here 2 years, worked in treatment, relapsed, went back to New York. Worked in treatment for a year, stood sober, not a year, almost a year, relapsed, went back to, I worked out here in a gym, and then went back to New York.
When you relapsed, did you go back immediately?
No.
So you relapsed and
stood here for about 8 months, dibbling and dabbling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Were you hiding it? Were you still like?
Yeah, no, I was not hiding. I was hiding it from my wife, trying to, but she wasn't my wife at the time.
Yeah.
Trying to hide it from her. But I was, at that point, I was out of AA. I wasn't involved in any type of recovery or anything like that. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you go back to New York. Then you come back to Texas?
I go to New York and life gets more insane.
Yeah.
You know? Crazy shit happens. Like insane shit. Like there's so much insane shit.
Yeah.
You know? Me and my father beat the shit out of a guy. Right in front of Cafe Habana. We break the guy's face. We get arrested. All this shit happens. My uncle winds up passing away. This is all around the same time. And I remember being down in St. Patrick's Cathedral, the old St. Patrick's Cathedral in Mulberry Street in Little Italy. And when my uncle was my godfather, when he passed away, everybody came to the memorial. And I remember being at that memorial and being like, there was like 2,000 people at this thing. Because he was like a staple of the neighborhood. And in my head, I was like, if I were to fucking die right now, who would come to my fucking memorial? And how would they remember me?
Yeah.
And it was like, they would be remembered for a pile of shit.
Yeah.
You know? And I still continued. I mean, there were so many things. But for whatever reason, July 31st, 2011, this kid, Ricky, that I know Lucchese, comes to my house.
Okay.
Looking for money. And here I am, a 31-year-old man. And I don't have money to pay this guy. I owe him like $200. Talk about incomprehensible demoralization over here.
Yeah.
Right? And my wife comes out and pays a grown-ass man street debt $200. So that day I looked myself in the eyes and I said, Frank, it doesn't matter of all the bullshit that you've been through. What matters is you're in a fucking ditch right now. Who cares how we got in the ditch?
Yeah.
Take full accountability for where you are in your life right now And the only focus is getting out of this fucking ditch. And for whatever reason, if that was God, the universe, because, bro, there was 9,000 fucking reasons for me to get sober before that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So if it was God, if it was the universe, if it was a power, Christ consciousness, a power greater than myself, whatever the fuck it was, I took it and I ran with it and I haven't fucking stopped. I created a new fucking version of Frank Parisi, the 2.0 fucking version, bro.
Yeah.
And my focus has been for the past 13 fucking years has been all about service of others, creating the greatest fucking version of myself and sharing it with the fucking world.
Yeah.
That's what it's been about, Mo.
Well, and the moments, right? The small little moment. I mean, because what you just said, your wife paying a debt, right? All of those other reasons that you had to get sober before it.
Bro.
And it takes this little tiny
Way
little,
worse.
Like way worse. Yeah,
Way worse than that.
And
Yeah.
this and it's always the fucking tiniest moment. Right? Like I mean, with everybody, it seems like everybody that I've ever talked to, it just seems like this small little baby kind of window or moment where
Yeah, you would think.
you wouldn't think that would be the thing. It would be like, you know, I listened to this guy tell, you know, going without fucking warm water, bathing his baby girl in it. It's
Cold ass
that
water. No
that
electrics.
wouldn't do it, but it was other small things just later that it was. I don't know what it's the wildest shit to me that a lot of people's bottoms, you go through so fucking many of them. Like you too, like you hit so many of them.
Yeah.
And then,
Brother, in and out of jail. I mean, I've been arrested. I can't more than 2 hands. You know what I mean? Treatment 6 times. I've been away for over a year of my life, institutionalized. You know what I mean? Like you would think all that, the fights, the fucking crazy street shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You would think all of that, the pain that you cause your family, your loved ones. You think that it's just like it's a God thing, bro. And when God gives you that moment of clarity, when He gives you that shit, you gotta fucking run with it, bro.
yeah,
Because I never wanted. I'm gonna be real. I never wanted to stop. I never wanted to stop using. In a sick, twisted way, I loved it, and I loved the lifestyle. Even when I was miserable in it, as long
You
as
could be addicted to that too.
you can. And you know, when you're so delusional and out of your, not in your right mind, that becomes all you know, and you are now a product of that environment. And I got to a point where I accepted that as my fate and my reality. So it was normal.
It's just what life was.
It was who I am.
Yeah.
And
It's that story.
and I'm like, I'm the type of guy, I push it. I'm gonna take it to as far as I can go, because I'm a hard-headed person, and I can't learn my lesson until you fucking sit me down and say, dude, fucking pay attention and wake up. And God did that to me.
Yeah.
He spared my life 5 fucking times.
I mean, but even yours was a small moment.
Oh, it was.
Like,
It took that monumental
Right.
moment to sit me into a hospital bed with vomit in my lungs, and I'm scrolling through Facebook and I stop on a picture of my family.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. These
Yeah,
fucking
the smallest little
the smallest little things. Like, I mean, because to me, being the ignorant fucking moron in this is like, if I overdose one fucking time,
You're like, that's enough.
I would, if I have to fucking, you know, bathe my daughter in cold water, like you know what I'm like, I just, it's fucking wild to me that it's these little fucking things that, but it's also great. It's beautiful.
like Critchy's
in a
birthday
way.
cake
Critchy's birthday cake. I'll always go back to that. He thought he was getting kicked out
of fucking rehab.
rehab because he was being a dick while he was there. These people are not like me type shit, right? And so they were like, hey, we need to see you out here. And he was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And they had a fucking birthday cake with everybody there because it was his birthday and they fucking remembered it. And he said that changed everything for him.
That's awesome.
And it was like
That's fucking awesome.
a fucking $30
fucking
birthday
awesome,
cake.
Yeah.
It was fucking.
That's
so
awesome.
it's wild to me how this happened. So talk about the book, man. How did this?
I'm very curious about
I'm
that,
very
too.
curious
'Cause this
about
is
how.
one of my next things I want to do.
Yeah,
So, Okay. So I get sober.
Yeah.
All right. and things go good, brother. You know, life gets good. I move back out here. I do well. Everything's progressing in life.
You're embracing abundance.
I'm embracing abundance.
Yeah.
You know, I'm staying sober. You know, life's happening. You know,
Yeah.
I have a kid. I'm married. We're doing well. You know, I've worked a long time in substance abuse.
Yeah.
I've had a few facilities and done consulting. And last year I was working with a facility, and in January, and I developed this cough. Okay.
And you had moved back to Texas by this point?
I've been in Texas now for 13 years. I've been back out here 12 years now.
Yeah.
So I moved back out here 2012.
Okay.
So last year now we're going to talk about I'm developed this cough. You know, mind you, I've been working out since I'm 14 years old. So I developed this cough, and I was traveling. I travel a lot for business and other things. And it starts out, I'm in Los Angeles in like February. I got this cough. It's persisting. I come back home. I go to 2 primary care physicians, okay, because the first one's treating me for allergies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't got allergies. I go back. They do a test of the seat of my chest, and to another primary care physician, and she goes, sends me for more tests. Then she says, no, it's allergies, but take these steroids. First they gave me like a medication, Singular. I didn't like it. Then they gave me this other medication called, it was a prednisone, like a steroid.
Yeah.
So I take that. It still doesn't get better. I have a trip that I have to go to in New York. So I go to New York with my wife. We're up there. This cough is still persistent. Come back. I'm like, all right, it's still going. I had to go to Florida. I come back from Florida in April. Now the cough's getting really bad. I'm like, I got to go see some specialists. So I go. We make appointments for gastrointestinal, pulmonologist, and a cardiologist. Okay. Because I'm losing weight and I'm working out.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm like, maybe I'm in my 40s now. Mm-hmm. Things change in your body. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Things change for us. So I go to the pulmonologist. I go to the gastrointestinal. Everything comes back fine. Next week, I go to the pulmonologist. He does tests on me. Does all these tests. He says, we found out what's wrong with you. You have the rarest form of pneumonia. It's called organizing pneumonia. 3% of the population has it after COVID. What we're going to do to treat this is 6 months of high-dose prednisone steroids, 60 milligrams we're going to start you out at. And we're going to give you a high-dose antibiotic. It was like insane the amount of antibiotics they had me on. So I said, all right, well, we'll do this. I was very upset about this because I'm like 6 months of fucking these steroids that I'm going to have to be on. Jeez, like it was like such a big deal for me at the time, you know, not knowing what's coming. And so we start the therapies. I have an appointment with a cardiologist the week after, and I cancel it because I just went to the specialist who told me that I have this rare pneumonia.
Right.
We start the therapies, and it starts getting worse.
Oof.
Okay, things are getting worse. Now I'm coughing up this orange stuff, like that. Orange stuff is coming up. I'm like, maybe this is the cough breaking up.
Yeah.
I'm having panic attacks. I'm like, in the middle of the night, I can't stop coughing. And everything's saying that this is prednisone side effects. High-dose steroids give you anxiety. They make you feel like you're having panic attacks. The cough is like nonstop now. I call the doctor and I say, this is not stopping. I'm coughing this orange stuff. Now I'm starting to feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody, I feel like I'm dying right now. Nobody believes me. The doctor gives me more medication, more cough medicine. It gets worse, okay? I'm sitting there with my son's about to start school. He's even like, I can't deal with this. Now I can't eat. Everything I'm eating, I'm getting sick now.
Yeah.
On May 8th of 2023, I cough all night, this much blood.
Oof.
That much of blood. It was a camera. That much blood I cough up. All right? I wake up on May 8th. My wife takes my son to school, and maybe he didn't even have school yet. She took him somewhere, camp. And I go see my pulmonologist in Lakeway, Baylor Scott and White. He goes, "What happened to you?" I said, "What do you mean what happened to me? I told you I feel like I'm dying." He goes, "We have to admit you now." So they admit me to Baylor Scott and White ICU, and I'm there. And my wife now has to leave because my whole family's in New York and New Jersey. It's just being high. Yeah. And I got a 6-year-old boy at my house in Dripping Springs. So they say now that I have sepsis. So I wake up May 8th to cough up this blood, you know. Now they're telling me that I have sepsis. So they treat me for sepsis. They pump me with like 18 gallons of fluid. One of the nurses messed my arm up. That's how I got this. So I don't know if the camera could see this, but she put the wrong pick in my arm right here. And the medication infiltrated my skin from the inside out, and it gave me a 3rd-degree burn from the inside out.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
It's fucking insane.
Now imagine you wake up on May 8th. This is why we all need the new iOS upgrade constantly put in. Because here I am, I wake up on May 8th, and now I have a doctor coming in saying, this guy doesn't have sepsis. He's got 9% heart function, and his liver and his kidneys are failing. We need to ship you up to Temple, Texas. It's the only place that could save your life. What? Like, I woke up on May 8th, like, I thought I had a cough.
Right.
But I didn't think now I'm about to die. You know what I mean?
Even though you'd been saying it for a while, but being approached with doctors probably telling you is fucking
way different, bro.
Way different.
Especially when I knew, but then I'm in the hospital, they're treating me for this stuff, and then they finally figured out that it was none of the things that they were treating me for. It was in heart failure. So my wife is in Austin, and now they're shipping me up in a ambulance in the middle of the night, dude. Like, now it's like May 9th. And they're shipping me up to Temple, Texas. And my wife is there. There's a team of doctors, bro. This is like out of a movie. There's a team of doctors waiting there for me. And my wife's there with a picture of my kid, bro. Like, begging me to fucking live. Like, begging me to live with a picture of my son, dude. And I got 10 minutes to meet with her to talk about our future without me.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, my brother. So I go into the doctors, and they say, listen, we got to put him on a ventilator. And it's like, and my wife's like, I don't want him on a ventilator. Her only idea of ventilator is like COVID.
Yeah.
He's going to die.
Yeah.
And they're like, listen, we don't know if we're going to be able to save his life, but we have to put him on the ventilator. There's no other option. They were going to put me on the most advanced form of life support called ECMO machine, where it basically circulates your blood for you. The whole machine does that to keep you alive. And so you want me to go into the whole story, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. To answer your question,
Okay.
it's very
Yeah, bro. It gets weird.
So you're in Temple.
I'm in Temple.
10 minutes with your wife
I have 10 minutes with my wife
to discuss
Finances.
her life without you.
Yes. Could you fucking imagine this shit?
No, I'm trying to think. Like, what do you say in 10 minutes? Like,
Finances. That was all I thought about.
Right.
Well, that's pretty much all 10 minutes is going to allow you to do.
yeah,
That's
'cause you
all I
can't
thought
talk love
about.
and all that
You,
shit. You
like,
can talk one or the other, right?
I was worried about just like making smart decisions for the future. You know.
so now you basically go on a ventilator.
Did I go on a ventilator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start from there.
Okay. I go on a ventilator, and I have an out-of-body experience. I die.
Okay.
I died a code, and I have an out-of-body experience.
Okay.
So I float out of my body. All right. And now my wife and I are in a room together, and I'm looking down at us. She's sleeping, and I'm on a ventilator. And I'm in recovery. I've helped a lot of people in my life. There's a buddy that I helped out years ago that passed away, and he was with me. Everything around me was dark, and there was a voice that said, he's here to take you up with us. And I had a vision at that time, my brother, because when we go to whatever's next, there's no body.
Right.
I just know my man's with me. We communicate. And I have these visions. And I have a vision of my son growing up without me. He's walking with another man, with my wife, in this vision. And I asked the voice, God, Spirit of the universe, I said, you have to let me come back for my son. And the voice said, we're going to let you come back, but you're going to suffer. And at that time, my brother, I didn't know what I was about to face. I didn't know, like, what was ahead of me. And I didn't know that 13 years ago when I got sober, that it was bigger than me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until later on, you know? That my life is not about me. My life is about my son and his fucking future generations.
Yeah.
I get a little emotional.
Fuck yeah. I can only imagine, brother.
And I developed the man that I am. And I came back to suffer for him so that him and his future generations have a whole new shift in the way they think and act, bro. Because if I didn't, then it'd be the same shit. He'd go through the same shit that I went through. So this shit ain't even about me, bro. None of this shit is about me. And in that fucking hospital, me and my wife...
Take your time, brother.
I said, I want to start writing a book for him. I want to write a book for my son. Because if I pass away, I want him to know the man that I became. It's bigger than me, bro.
Yeah.
This whole thing's bigger than me. And I said to myself, maybe I didn't have this out-of-body experience, bro. Maybe this shit didn't happen. Maybe that was just delusion. Maybe these things are just coincidences that are happening in my life. You know what I mean? So now I'm in this hospital bed and I'm like, I woke up the day before or 2 days ago. And like now I'm in this fucking hospital bed for like 9 days, bro. And I got doctors walking in there with hazmat suits. They're walking in the room with hazmat suits. And they got my room boarded up like with all plastic because this orange stuff, they don't know. They think it's tuberculosis.
Oh, shit.
So now I got a pump in my groin, dude, and I can't move. And they said I'm in this thing called atrial fibrillation, which feels like you're dope sick. It feels like your body wants to jump outside of itself. And I don't know what the hell's going on with me, bro. And I don't want to see nobody, bro. And here's the beautiful fucking thing, bro. It's so beautiful. In walks this kid fucking Johnny Wenberg. I helped this kid fucking years ago. And I told my wife, I don't want certain people here. Only like family and close friends. I was emaciated, bro. I lost like 40 pounds in fucking 9 days, bro. In walks this fucking kid. And I said, Johnny, what are you doing here, bro? And he said, Frank, what do you mean, what am I doing here? He said, I heard you're here, bro. He said, yo... You don't even know that I feel like this. He said, yo, you're Superman to me, bro. You pulled me out of the house. I got him into treatment. I owned the treatment center at the time. We let him stay there for 2 months. We got him a job there. He worked there. He stood sober 8 years. You know what I'm saying? My life meant something, bro. So now, this fucking crazy. Oh, man. Now, I joined this entrepreneur group last year. And I'm supposed to be down in Miami with this group of guys on a fucking 100-foot yacht. And I'm in this hospital fighting for my life. And my dad had passed away 3 years ago. So it was hard for us because I went down this path of recovery and service and growth, and he was still doing what he was doing and never evolved past that. And it's like hard when you go and you separate, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes as we evolve, man, like you're going to have to leave people behind. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's the hardest
100%.
shit. But like in the end, he was there for me and I was there for him. And I showed up for my father in his end. But I wanted to talk to him. And I booked this fucking medium out like 5 months in advance, bro. And I'm supposed to be in Miami and I'm supposed to like have this fucking medium thing going on.
And you're still in the hospital.
And I'm in the fucking hospital, bro.
Okay.
And I'm like, my wife's like, I don't want you talking to this fucking medium. And I'm like, I'm doing it. Like, none of this makes sense. Like, none of this is making sense right now.
You're thinking logically. Like, that's why you were thinking all logically about this out of body experience that you had. You're like, this can't be real. Like,
yeah, like maybe this didn't happen.
Yeah,
but I got this medium booked out now.
Yeah,
from 5 months in advance, and I'm in the hospital fucking dying. And I got an appointment with her, and I talked to my fucking father, bro. Okay, there was a doctor that was there and reversed everything. The hospital at Lakeway pumped me with 18 gallons of fluid, which caused the heart to fail that much worse, bro. There was a doctor in Lakeway in Temple, Texas. He brought his whole team from New York. All the PAs and doctors were from New York. Temple's a town of 30,000 people,
it's
bro.
not a big town.
It's not a big town, but it's got one of the best cardiothoracic units in the whole country.
Yeah.
Because of this team that's there. Dr. Hernandez from Mexico City, and then Dr. Reddy came from New York City. And they created this amazing team. Dr. Reddy reversed everything. They had to pump 18 gallons of fluid out of my body. Dr. Reddy's not there no more. He was there when I was there.
So all these doctors are from New York?
Yes.
In Temple, Texas?
In Temple, Texas. What's the odds that I got another one of the doctors, his fucking father-in-law was a wise guy. He was involved in organized crime like my father. We're in a town of 30,000 people. This doesn't happen out there. One of the other nurse PAs went to the same college as my wife. We're in the middle of Temple, Texas. Wow. She baked her the same cookies, her favorite rainbow Italian cookies. Could be a coincidence. The medium tells me this. She gets everything right about my father. And the one thing that made me be like, how the hell? She goes, all the doctors from New York. I said, yeah, they are. She goes, yeah, I'm talking to your father. He sent them there for you.
Whoa.
Wow.
And she had two things wrong. She said, kept talking about a pendant and a chain and a birthday. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But on May 19th, my mother came into the hospital from New York to be with me. And I told her all about this medium. And then I said, she got everything right about that. She knew these doctors were here from New York. How the fuck did she know that? But she got two things wrong. Maybe it's a coincidence that she Googled my name. She could find out a lot of stuff, all this stuff, right? The doctors, no.
Right.
Could be a guess. But there was two things that she had. The birthday and the pendant and the chain. My mom comes in and she goes, my father's mother died when he was 14. I never knew my grandmother. May 19th was her birthday. I didn't know that. And then a pendant and a chain. She said that when my dad died, my Aunt Dolores gave a pendant and a chain of my father's mother to my mother. I never even knew about this. She gave the pendant and the chain to my father's sister. My Aunt Camille, I FaceTime my Aunt Camille, bro. And she's wearing the pendant and the fucking chain.
Wow.
It could be a coincidence, bro.
It's a fucking crazy coincidence. You know, I got a buddy that says coincidences are miracles when God chooses to remain anonymous.
Correct.
He says that all the time. And he used to always say, I went to Solstice with him in rehab. And he used to always say that, and it was one of my favorite quotes. And I know whenever I came in recovery, I didn't know how to feel about the whole God thing for a long time, because I always felt like God left me, and why would he put me through all this? And then as I went through recovery, I realized God never left me. He never left my side.
Never.
Like, he kept me alive and out of prison, and he kept me from dying in front of my daughter through all that bullshit. Like, a lot of people left me, but he never did.
Never.
And then I started seeing all of these coincidences, and I started saying, holy shit. Like, that's God.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
Well, that is
It gets more weird.
well. No, I want please do keep going, dude. This is fucking. This is absolutely crazy.
He's only scratching the surface.
Yeah, please keep it rolling, brother.
So, all right, now this happens. All right. And now, now they're like, this Dr. Hernandez guy keeps coming, who I love. I love you, Dr. Hernandez. He's my brother. I love him.
Shout
He's
out
my
Dr.
man.
Hernandez.
Dr. Hernandez,
Hell yeah.
greatest heart failure surgeon in the whole entire world. I've spoken with him in Mexico and in America. So I love this man. He saved my fucking life. He would come in and tell me, Mr. Parisi, you may need a heart. And I was like, yeah, okay. I'm going to eat my eggs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fucking pay attention to you, bro.
Uh-huh.
But they started talking to me about possibly needing a heart. They said you're going to either need a mitral valve replacement or a heart, because the balloon pump that they have in my groin, they're going to now have to put this new, most advanced pump called the impeller pump. It's this giant machine, bro. It's a pump, and they had to cut me open 13 staples right here. So also remember this, right? Not only am I going through this insanity, I'm also a person in long-term recovery.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now the devil's coming in during this whole spiritual experience in the hospital. It's a fucking spiritual battle, bro, that's about to take place now. Because now they got to cut me open, 13 staples, and they're going to put this heart pump in my chest that I got to walk around with. I got to learn how to fucking walk first. They're going to put it in my chest, and it's going to relax my heart to see if my heart recovers. So in my head, I'm like, all right, you've been in fucked up situations before. Maybe not as crazy as this, but you've been in situations where you don't know what the fucking future's going to hold. You don't know when you're getting out. You don't know nothing. So you kind of been here before. So everything in my life kind of was preparing me for what I was just about to face in my life.
Yep.
Even I talk about keeping our fucking sword sharp, talking about developing a whole new human being to be able to respond to all this shit that I'm about to go through. See, if I was back in the old version of myself, that shit would have crippled me right now, bro. I won't even make it to here. But the point of constantly investing in myself, constantly growing with God, with others, constantly keeping my sword sharp, I was able to process the information, radically accept for where I was at that moment once they said, this is what your reality is going to be. If I fight it, I'm only going to create suffering for myself. So I have to radically accept where I'm at and say, what's up, Frank? What you got to do? You got to get the fuck up, bro. You got to get up and walk. You got to start doing some fucking squats. Because, bro, when you're in bed for 9 days, you got to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
You got to learn to walk again. So I know they're going to cut me open, and I'm going to need surgeries and healing, multiple surgeries. So get up. And that's what I started to do. I started to walk, guys. I was at my lowest because we developed this new human being within ourselves. We have new principles. We have new tools. So I know when I'm in my lowest of lows in life and what do I need the most, bro? I'm about to get a heart transplant maybe, or a mitral valve replacement. What do I need, bro? I need love. How do I get love? I got to give it. So in the darkest of the moments while I'm here in code blue, I start to fucking walk. and I'm walking 10 steps, and then I'm walking fucking 20, and then a mile in the ICU unit, 2 fucking 3 4. I'm walking 5 fucking miles, and they're saying code blue, which means someone died, and I'm telling everyone in the unit to get the fuck up and let's walk and live together. Yeah. And now I got old people walking in the fucking unit with me, bro. And they got me a Superman cape in the fucking ICU. And every time I got out of my room, they play the Superman music.
Nice.
Because of the human being that we develop, bro. Because we keep the sword sharp.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what's going on. I had the vision. Let's write this fucking book. We started writing the book. We started to form routines within there. I still was doing everything I was doing. I still was working. I still was calling guys I was sponsoring in AA. They were like, what the fuck are you calling me for? I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Mm-hmm. Like, this is to my last breath.
Yeah. Come on. There's air in my lungs, brother.
This shit ain't no game. When we talk about in meetings, I hear a lot of people talk about God is everything. Is he nothing? Is he? Are you willing to truly abandon your son, your wife, your finances, everything that you've worked for in your life? Do you truly have as much faith and trust in him that he loves you more than you could ever love your family or yourself? Do you truly abandon everything to him? Because I fucking did. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I fucking abandoned everything to him, bro. And I let him guide me. And then they put this pump in my chest, 13 staples. I took fucking Advil, guys. No pain meds.
Let's go.
Advil and ice. Tylenol and ice. That was it. And now they're like, they got the pump and I'm bringing light. You know what I mean? And now I got to go and see if this heart's going to recover. And I remember Dr. Hassan being like, your heart's dead. You imagine May 8th, you wake up and now this is the new reality. You know what I'm saying? The sooner we can move through whatever experience we're experiencing and accept it radically for what it is, the faster we're going to move to what we were supposed to be doing. When we sit in old experiences, we never able to move forward. Mm-hmm. So you have to completely accept everything for exactly how it is. That is why I'm so connected, because it's already written for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So I can't even question any of this shit. Mm-hmm. He's taken me, this energy has taken me places I never thought I could ever be in life.
Yeah.
It's opened up doors and opportunities and friendships and relationships that I never thought I could ever have. You know? So why am I going to turn my back on this now? And so now my heart's not recovered and I need a heart. So you got to go through that psyche of that. Like, on top of him, I got my arm now. I got my arm too. I got this. Now they got to debride my arm. I got the arm debridement on June 1st, which means they're going to clean the whole thing out. And like this much of the skin is missing. It's got to grow back now. Mm-hmm. So now I got the arm debridement coming up. And now I'm waiting for someone to fucking die, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
So you're waiting on the heart right now?
I was waiting on the heart at this time.
Okay.
No, at this time in the hospital, my brother. So now they're like, to get a heart on a heart transplant list, because now my heart's dead, it's you got to see a psychologist, you got to see a social worker, you got to get colonoscopy, you got to get your teeth checked, you got to get all your blood pressures checked. You go through more massive tests, and then they meet as a group to discuss if you are eligible for the transplant. The other option is the LVAT machine, like I was telling you guys earlier, where it's the pump that goes into your chest that comes out of your stomach, and you charge it for 18 hours. You get an 18-hour charge.
Like a robot kind of.
Yeah, Dr. Octopus out the stomach. Mm-hmm. So it's like, imagine the psyche of that stuff, man. You know what I mean?
But that mindset gets real fucking tested.
Yes. Embrace the suck, bro.
Yeah.
You will learn so much about yourself. How about the fact that 6 weeks I got nurses washing me? I haven't taken a shower. Mm-hmm. I got tubes in every piece of me, my neck, every part of me. I can't get up. I got need help for everything.
Yeah.
Sit with yourself with that for a while. Sit with yourself for a while for that. So now I get this arm debridement. I'm like, all right, good. Let me get the arm debridement. Because they said with my blood type, my heart's gonna last. It's gonna take 8 weeks for us to get a heart. It's gonna be about 6 to 8 weeks, and I've already been in the hospital now for like 3.5 weeks. They finally figure out what's wrong with me after this amount of time.
Right.
I have this rare gene called TTN. It's called Titan. It's a Titan gene. It's like an extra protein spike. So they figure out that piece at least, that I have this rare freaking gene, because I'm like, how did this happen?
Is that what happened to your heart?
Yeah, it's a gene.
Okay. So it wasn't anything that you did in your past or anything like that. It was just some shit.
Just a
Some rare
rare
shit.
gene, dude. You know, just some random shit. You know,
Yeah.
God's path.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like
at least I knew what was wrong, though.
Yeah.
You know, I got my son tested. You know, like we could get ahead of it. You know, so here I am now, and it's like it's June 1st, and I get this arm debridement, and I'm like, cool, because now, like, once you get a heart transplant, you take this medication, which basically lowers your immune system,
Yeah.
so that your heart and body, the body accepts the heart, because immediately it's going to reject a foreign organ. So I'm like, all right, cool. This will give me 8 weeks. I could probably get the skin graft surgery. By then, the arm will heal enough for them to cut my leg open to put it on my arm. You know, because that's what they do with the skin. And so they do the skin debridement on June 1st, and then they come in on June 2nd, and they say, yeah, we got a heart for you. You get ready tomorrow. One day.
Let's go.
One day.
One day.
One day. Man, it's all could be coincidences.
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be. It's just like, whatever. Like, coincidences happen all the time. All this shit could be a coincidence. I don't know. You know?
Our miracle.
Or a fucking miracle, bro.
Or you getting exactly what you asked for in that out of body experience. You know what I'm saying? Because it told you it was going to suffer. We'll send you back, but it's going to be rough. You know what I'm saying?
So then on June 3rd, my dude, I get my fucking gift of life.
Wow.
The next day, June 3rd. And I have a picture. You guys could look at it on my Instagram and stuff. As soon as I came to, because I was on the ventilator for
I think I saw it.
the third or fourth fucking time ventilator. I don't even know how many procedures I've gone through in there, man. And I wrote on the fucking billboard, man. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about pain. I'm grateful to feel.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And when I was in there, man, I met this kid. When I was in that group, I met this kid, Nick Santanasasso. Okay, and Nick told me that whenever we go through hard times in our life, we have to ask ourselves questions. And I asked myself this question in the hospital because of Nick. It was, what is the gift in what you're going through, and what are you gonna become because of it? And for me, the gift, guys, is like, I am like, every day I wake up, I'm like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I'm alive,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I got to get up today. I got to pray. I got to meditate. I got to read. I got to journal. I got to get some grounding in. I got to get some water. I got to get a workout. I got to get healthy food in my body. I got to get a beautiful drive out here. I got to call a guy this morning and help him out this morning. I got to get to be part of this fucking beautiful thing called life. Most of us get so caught up in this, and I was one of them. Like, bro, the music sounds different. The water tastes different. The food tastes different. Being with my son feels different. Being here with you feels different. Yeah. Like, I am so awake to we are the creators of our universe. We are the master of our universe. What is the gift? I'm awake to all of this. What have I become? A best-selling fucking author in 3 countries. From the darkest of fucking times, something beautiful. And I want to share this with the world. I want to share it with you, bro. Wake up to how beautiful this gift of life is, man. We get to be here. You get to be on a podcast. You get to participate in this life. We get to help people. We get to eat. We get to love. We get to connect. We get to feel. We get to do all this fucking beautiful shit, bro. The problem is so many people are stuck in old patterns.
Yeah.
They're stuck in the old fucking iOS programming, dude. There's power in proximity, bro. You know, I believe in that, man. I believe like the rising tide raises all boats. So constantly the only focus, even when I was in that hospital, was evolution and elevation. It was constant growth. I'm a growth junkie, bro. I just want more and more of it. It doesn't matter what the fuck's going on in our lives. I had the vision for what my life was going to look like. I built my body back over the past fucking 12 months. I had a vision. The vision plus the action, you make the agreements with yourself, like a contractual agreement that no matter what, even in the face of death, even in a heart transplant, even in 16 fucking biopsies over the year, I'm still going to show up in the disciplines, in the agreements that I made with myself until the vision's a reality. I'm going to shut the outside noise up. I'm going to cry in my fucking gym, dude, by myself in my garage for a half fucking hour with my hands up like, God, I trust you. I believe in you. Keep fucking guiding me. I'm going to keep fucking going until the vision's a reality. And then you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking rinse and repeat. And I'm going to fucking help you to get your fucking vision a reality.
Yeah.
I created a coaching program because of this now. It's called the Embrace Abundance Coaching Program. So I work one-on-one with people for vision setting, not just, it's you want to get jacked and shredded, that's awesome, but that's the like hook.
Yeah.
That's the hook. We're going to do way more work than that.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get jacked and shredded. That's the hook. But when we get in, you're going to see it's a group of a community of people dedicated towards growth and supporting one another. Because there's a lot of haters out here, man. You see it, right? And it's like, especially as you continue to evolve and elevate, they don't like that because what's happening is it's hard. I had to leave family away, man.
Well, yeah.
If you want to get to the next place, not everybody could come, but you got to walk with the people that are walking with you. Because if you walk with the people that walk with you, you're going to get there a lot faster and you're going to go a lot further. You know what I'm saying? 3 most important people in our lives, our mentors. Make sure you have solid ones. Those are what's ingrained into me to keep my sword sharp. You know? The second group is the ones that we walk with, man. We got to be walking the same fucking path together. If we ain't walking this shit together, guess what? It's going to slow us the fuck down. You know, I can't be carrying people, man.
Right.
It'll get us either off our course on their course, or it's going to get us, slow us down.
Yes.
And the most important shit is as we continue to evolve and elevate, man, is to pass that shit down to the next man or woman. You know, and I feel like, and I knew God had put me through everything that I went through as a kid. I went through many lives, man. I lived like a street life. I lived a recovered life, you know. Now I stepped into this whole new life. You know, I've lived different lives within this life, man. Life is supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be about constant evolution, constantly reinventing yourself. I worked in substance abuse for the past 13 years. Now I became a best-selling author and a coach. I'm not even working in substance abuse right now. You know what I mean? Constant evolution and elevation. Why come back and do the same exact thing? God didn't want that for me. He wants me to be doing his path. So I'm just following that right now. And I just want to continue to inspire people, bro, through my journey, bro. This is not even real. You are truly in a dream. Create the dream you want to wake up to every day because you really are. We are all God. We are creative beings. That's what we do is create, you know? But surround ourselves with that energy, man. The energy that's going to lift us. In the darkest of times in that hospital room, it was light. There was some laughter, like belly laughing laughter.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
walking
a
those
state of
people
mind.
around. You walking those people around, man. That's fucking huge. Like I think, like I just have that vision of you walking around with the Superman cape on with old people or, you know, the broken, right? Like in that hospital. And I mean, even if they passed or whatever later, that memory for them probably was big, you know?
Yeah.
Moments.
The moments, going back to those
That's what
moments,
life's
man.
about.
Yeah.
So I got a question about the heart you have.
Yeah, brother.
Do you feel connected to the person?
I do, bro.
I was
So
going
you-
to ask that.
Go ahead. I'm
No,
sorry.
So I think we were going to the same place here. So do you know the person it came from?
I
and
don't yet, but the family reached out to me, and I'm so grateful, bro. Because like that was the other thing, like what, you know, guys. Like another like thing I wake up to. I know people used to laugh at me about this stuff, but like we all connected, bro. The family reached out to me. I have a girl's heart in my chest. I have a female. There was a girl that was born and passed away to give me more life. You can't tell me we ain't all just one, bro.
Yeah.
We're all connected, brother. You know? And like, what am I doing with that gift?
Right.
Like, what am I doing with this family's gift? I have to be doing like nothing but good work for the rest of my life, bro. That's it.
Did it give you a whole new perspective on life?
A whole new perspective,
On
brother.
everything.
Everything,
Right.
bro. And I feel her with me, dude. I talk to her. I don't know her. I want to know more about her. I want to learn about her. You know, because I do feel it with me, my brother. I feel like I live in like 2 dimensions.
Is that something? Is that something you want to do? Like reach out to the family, get to know.
I wrote them a letter.
Yeah.
So they make you wait a year
Oh, is that
for
what it is?
everybody
I
to.
always wondered, like, do they
They make-
reach out immediate or
Nah,
it's probably,
it's a year.
probably too painful? at
It
the
is. They
beginning.
give everybody a year because it's
Yeah.
even hard for the the transplant patient. It's we go through our whole thing. Like
Yeah.
when you first get out the hospital, man, it's like, what does my future look like? Am I gonna be able to like live a normal life?
Yeah, is this
Or
gonna work?
is this gonna work?
We have
Yeah.
a girl that works with us. I won't say her name, but her little brother just passed. He was 12, right?
Yeah.
And they donated his organs, and they went to 7 or 9 different people.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That like this one here and this one here and
Yeah.
this one here.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, like, how long? But did they let you know who they went to immediately, or does it? So now you told me you got to wait a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I wrote them a letter, and now I'm just waiting for them to
Just
connect
waiting.
us.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of beautiful things coming from this. I'm doing some stuff with like the American Heart
Mm-hmm.
Association. Next year, I'm gonna go to Dresden, Germany. There's the Transplant Olympic Games. So I'm gonna go out there, just
You
like
gonna compete?
I'm gonna try, bro, and see what I
Yes,
could be
let's
in. You
fucking
know,
go, bro.
if I could get into
Fuck
something,
in
I want to
there.
try to. It'd be freaking awesome. But
That's
even if
awesome.
so, just to connect,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's all the donors, doctors, and transplant
Well, it's a whole new
recipients.
community. That
Whole
you're
new
part of now.
community,
You know
brother.
what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like God like put me through my addiction to be able to help others like come out of that hellhole. But I feel like with this, it's like such a grander scale. It's like
Different
it's like
community.
everybody could relate to my story,
Yeah.
dude, in one way or another. There's so many layers
Well,
to
you have
it
so many different stories to relate to,
within it.
right?
You know, within the lifetime, there's a few
Mm-hmm.
different. So I just want to be here to inspire people to be
Yeah.
great, bro. Go after all yours. It's your life. It's your race. It's your
Mm-hmm.
movie. Everybody else is just an actor in it, just here to teach you lessons and put you on the right course.
Yeah, yeah.
But our minds will get us off course.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta keep it. You gotta keep the faith and your mind solid, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was why I was able to get through everything I was able to.
Yeah. And that belief in God.
Oh
Trust in
God,
God.
my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Complete abandonment
Mm-hmm.
and have him guide me. Even with business. I just had a dealing with my old company and lost all of my income. Could you imagine that too this year?
Mm.
Everything. You know? But it was meant to be. It was right after the eclipse too. This is why I feel so tapped into weird stuff. Because this happened literally after the eclipse. And like everything was good like a month before. And then after that eclipse happened, that energy was supposed to leave my life. So that new energy could come in. And that's what's been happening. And I don't fight it. When that door closed, that door was closed. It was on to the next vision.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the vision was just stay patient and see.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it is. But then the doors start to open, brother. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense logically.
Yeah.
None of it. You know?
Well, I always say, like, you know, we don't understand God, but we're not supposed to.
Nope.
Because if we understood him, then he wouldn't be God. Like,
Correct.
what would he be? If he was somebody that we could understand, he wouldn't be the Almighty. So we're not supposed to understand him. We're just supposed to trust him and trust that he's going to fucking bring me to where I'm supposed to go.
That's right.
And he's going to get me through. I always say that God knows us more than we know ourselves. So he won't put us through anything that he knows that we can't get through. Now, whether you get through it or not is completely, that's on you. That's on here.
Mm-hmm.
But he knows Frank Parisi can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is he going to fucking handle it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
Mm-hmm. Now let me get back to this, and you're absolutely right, but I didn't want to miss on this. When I was in the hospital, and they cut my chest open, and they cut my arm open, and they had to clean my arm, I did have to take the meds.
Mm-hmm.
I want the listeners to hear this. Okay.
Yeah.
I was in the worst of fucking pain. Here I am, 12 years sober at the time. When they cut your chest open with a saw, it's extremely painful. I did everything not to take it. I did. But they said, listen, you have to take it because your body's in so much shock, it's not going to heal. So that's what it's really fucking for.
Yeah. Well, right.
When you get your chest sawed open, then you take Oxycontin.
Yeah.
But other than that, never.
I think I found a
Unless you
loophole.
need a fucking new heart. It's the only time. But I took it, and I took it also with the arm debridement, and then they would have to clean it. Yeah. This was the most, and it was again a spiritual battle because it was like, I would on the phone with everybody, and I telling everybody, I was complete. Everybody knew, and I'm like, I fucking hate this shit. But it literally every time I would take them sawing my chest open, then cleaning this. This was like taking a fire flame and burning my arm every day for 24 hours. After they cleaned it, I would scream and shake.
Oh my God.
For 24 hours, they would have to put ice on it, and they would give me the Oxy for that. And I was on that for like 24 days. No withdrawal. When it was done, it was done. I was honest with everybody, and I knew that this shit was the devil. It was nothing that was beneficial in my life. And I had every reason to say, you know what, let me stay on this shit.
Yeah.
Let me, poor bullshit. Yeah. Never victim in life. Nobody's a victim in life. Life doesn't happen to us. It just fucking happens. How we respond to it is what matters. Develop a human being so strong through God, through personal development, through service of others, that could withstand anything and still fucking thrive.
Yeah, man. How much pain do you know you're in if you don't feel it?
That's right.
You know, so that's my mom. She had brain surgery, and it went well, but they had to cut through like this neck muscle right here. My mom's tough as nails. She hates all things medicine, really, and just into the ICU, just pumping her full of pain meds and stuff, and she couldn't stand it. After the third day, so very kind of a similar thing, she was like, "Stop giving me this shit. Like, what are you?" I'm in the room with her, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "How do I know how much pain I'm in if you don't let me feel it? Let me feel what this is. I'll let you know when I need something."
Yeah.
And that showed me real quick that that's a mindset, right? Like, because most people in your circumstance, having a fucking flamethrower sent to your arm and with your chest sawed open, aren't even going to question any kind of pain meds that they're being given for how long and afterwards and all that shit. Right?
They'll just be pushing the button.
They'll just be hitting that motherfucking button.
Fuck that.
You know, and I don't know that I'd be any different if I'm just being honest with myself. You know, but when I witnessed that, and now I just hear you, it kind of reminds me of that. It's like you had the answers to the test because of what you went through with Oxy before. You knew that shit was the devil. So from that standpoint, I think it was maybe easy. I don't want to say easy, but maybe it was easier for you to be like, fuck that shit. Like I'll take it for what it's worth, and I'll take.
That's right.
I'll suck out of it what I need. But I mean, I think that's how a lot of people get shoved into that darkness too, man. They just don't.
Or who's to say you didn't go through that before, so you wouldn't go through it at 43? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you would have got addicted to it now.
Right.
If you didn't go through that experience before.
I never questioned anything, my brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Never questioned God. Ever.
Because there's a lot of people that get addicted to shit based on surgeries and stuff.
Absolutely.
At 40 and 50 and 60
I know
years
guys
old.
that had, years of sobriety, my brother. Tear a ACL, some, and then they're on Oxy, and then they're dead.
Yeah. For sure.
You know what I mean? I have guys I know like that, you know?
Yeah, that's when you really got to tap into, especially your program, your mentors, your sponsors. Because I had a surgery 9 months in sobriety. I mean, not a major surgery, but a surgery. And back in the day, like you told me, I'm getting surgery. Like that's a blessing to me.
Yeah.
That's how sick I am. Like, yes, the little thing, I'm gonna push it till I can't push, and then I'm gonna call, hey nurse, this isn't working anymore. No, sir, you've reached the max. Well, you got something else? Like, I don't need the morphine. Give me the tramadol, the hydro. Give me something. Like, and but for real. But it got to a point where it's like, again, I spoke earlier, I never wanted this to be possible.
Yeah.
And then once I got a dose of recovery, of sobriety, of real life, I didn't want to let that fucking go.
The highest of highs.
I didn't want to let it go.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to let it go. And not just because I take pride in my sobriety, because I do. But I'm not going to I don't have to throw anything away anymore today. And I won't. Why would I want to give up the blessing that is life? Because like I said, I'm on the same level as you. I wake up every day grateful. And I think we spoke about this when we had lunch, where, you had your near-death experience or to the end. Mine was to the end as well. And it for me, it took that to get to this. And like, that's my whole thing is like, you don't got to go through that to feel like this. You can reach this.
Absolutely.
You ain't got to go through that. I did it already. You ain't got to go through that.
Yeah.
I always say this for all the people in recovery, right? We're like the wildebeest, bro. Right? You ever watch the shows? You watch the show, National Geographic. Wildebeest running through they run through the Serengeti in Africa. And your disease, right? The addiction is the lion.
Yeah.
Right? The lion is never going after that wildebeest in the middle. As long as you stay in the middle of that, this recovery thing, man, you can be good, bro.
You gotta run faster than the other motherfuckers.
Yes. You know what I mean? The lion never goes to the middle one. He's gonna get the one on the outside, just not really by himself.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck this. I'm eating that
I'm
baby.
over here.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm on the outside. We stay in the fucking middle, bro. We'll be good.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good. That's good.
Dude.
It's true.
So I want to challenge you right now. I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge because you brought it up.
Yeah.
I want you to talk a little bit about what your wife says in that book.
Yeah, I'll read it for you.
Yeah.
I'll read it. So it's in the book, but I got it right here.
Okay.
So
and your wife went through all this shit with you.
She was with me. So she's been with me since we're 17 years old. Okay. She's 45. I'm 44. And she was by my side. Out of the 6 weeks we were there, she was only not there 3 nights because she was with my son. And one of my friends still with me and my mother the other nights. Because I didn't want to die alone. So I wanted someone with me.
For sure.
Just in case I was going to pass away, I wanted to have someone that I cared about with me.
Yeah.
Makes
sense.
So she was by my side, bro, my advocate. She's been my rock my whole life. There's no way I'm the man I am without her, to be honest with you.
That's your best friend?
Yeah, brother. Like, it's just number one. I mean, we've been together for almost 30 years, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's
That's
all
beautiful.
made. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And she's normal. She's not like us.
No.
Yeah.
I guess whatever normal is.
Yeah.
But in the hospital, and this has made many men cry.
All right. Well, here we go.
We're
getting ready to go right here, man. Bring.
I got Joe to bring us napkins out there. just
We
in
already
case.
cried a bunch on here.
Yeah, he's
so,
got 'em.
but she wrote this to me, and I didn't even know she wrote it. But she said, she wrote this to me, and she said, marriage is a marathon. It takes dedication and patience and perseverance. It takes energy, sometimes massive amounts of it, to keep moving forward. It takes momentum to keep growing stronger and closer as a couple. It requires nurturing and tenderness and care. Sometimes marriage is easy. It is light and airy, belly laughs and Sunday afternoon naps. There will be most beautiful moments shared between two people that only they can appreciate and understand. There will be the beautiful children that come from them raised to be strong and smart. It's fucking girl. Smart and kind. And sometimes marriage is hard, so fucking hard. There will be setbacks, there will be roadblocks, there will be disappointments and hurt. There will be resentment and anger and frustration. There will be times when you feel all you do is give and nothing left, and there's nothing left. There will be lost jobs and lost family and lost friends and lost babies. There will be trials and tribulations and failing cards. And that's when people give up. They don't want to put in the effort to work through the struggle and come out stronger on the other side of it. They say stupid shit like, this isn't what I signed up for. What I want you to know is this is exactly what I signed up for. I vow to love you for better or worse, in sickness and in health, for as long as we both shall live. And that's exactly what I will do. I'll always stand by you like a tree. I'll always be your advocate and biggest fan. I'll always tell Sonny how lucky he is to have you as his dad, that you are a warrior. When you need me to, I'll wipe your tears and I'll wash your feet and everything in between. I'll be strong for you in ways I didn't know I could. And maybe you don't realize it, but you've done this for me when I needed it too. I'll move mountains to make sure you have everything you need and promise to take such good care of you any way I can. I promise to grow with you in all aspects of our marriage and always put our family above all else. I will love and respect and honor you for all the days of our life. I will forever be your bibble, your babe. Your bib, your cat. God damn, bro.
Yeah. Fucking got me.
Fuck, dude.
Here you go, brother.
Well,
Oh my God,
Frank.
bro. Jesus.
thank
Guys,
you.
I love you guys, man. I want you to
Love
know
you.
I love
No.
you guys on some real shit.
No,
Love you, bro.
love
Like,
you,
yo, I
brother.
let you into my shit, man. Like, on some
Nah,
real
man.
shit. Love here, man.
Oh.
This is what it's about, bro. One, love through the darkest. We bring fucking love. Everyone's gonna feel better today after this.
Yeah.
Mad love for you guys.
Man.
No, hey.
For real, mad love for you, bro.
No,
Man,
we
that
love you
spot
too,
in
brother.
there where she said, "This is exactly what I fucking
Yeah.
signed up for."
Yeah, people say stupid shit like,
Fucking
this isn't
love her
what I
so
signed
much.
up for.
I love her so much.
Fuck, dude.
Oh, I love her so
How
much.
old's your son?
7 now,
7?
bro.
We got to get some play dates. My daughter's 9.
Dude, come over, man. You
gotta
guys
get some
all
play
welcome
dates.
over, dude.
Oh.
Come swim.
You're
Seriously, next weekend or the weekend after, bring your families. Come over. Come to my house and get us a barbecue.
So
well,
how's
I
the
would love that.
relationship with your son from when you went through this?
Now?
Yes.
Oh, bro. Like, I was like, bro, I'll be honest with you, like, I was like always like, I'm a hunter, I'm a man, so like be out, and like I was always there for my son and doing everything. Don't get me wrong, take him everywhere, but like after all this, my brother, I coach his flag football. I'm at every soccer game. I'm at all the practices. I take him everywhere with me, dude.
Hell
like
yeah.
there's not nowhere he's not coming. Like if we go to a Stars game, where he's coming with us. Like
yeah.
he's my man like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I take him everywhere and I'm with him and I pour into him like no other, bro. Like you'll see when you come hang out with me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm implanting all the goodness into him.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You'll see. He's a beautiful child, man. He's been through a lot and he's a fucking warrior too, just to be able to have to watch me go through what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
But I always say this, like, that's why it's so important for us to constantly focus on our growth, right? Because like my weakness is going to be his excuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's for him to watch me like go through everything I went through and then come out like this. Like he was with me in New York when I got the bestseller and like celebrating these victories. Like I do now motivational speaking. He's come with me to like different masterminds and
Yeah, yeah.
I bring him with me, brother, everywhere.
That's good.
You know? Yeah. So it's just been, everything is more sweet, dude. You know what I mean?
I'll have a better taste in everything.
Every day,
Every bit of
bro.
it.
Every day. You know?
It's crazy because I used to, in my addiction, I used to always pray for things and give me this. And God, as you know, when I would talk to God, I would always say foxhole prayers. I had so many foxhole prayers. But now I don't ask for anything anymore. I'm just grateful.
Me too, brother.
Just thank you.
Beautiful.
You know, those days where my prayers have turned from give me this, just to thank you for giving me life.
Yes.
Thank you for helping me get through where I went and continue to walk with me and continue to help me. And that's I think that's so important to put into our kids too.
Absolutely.
You know, like I tell these guys, we say it on the podcast all the time. My daughter knows everything about addiction, as much as a 9-year-old can.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask her, what does this drug look like, or this, and she'll tell you what it looks like and how you do it. And what does it do for it? Dad, it doesn't do good. It takes away life, and it does this, and it makes you see shadow people and shit like that. And I think it's so important that we pass that on to the next generation. Like what we went through, let's not shield them from it. Let's fucking
Absolutely.
open their eyes to it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So that they can go forward. And because if we don't do that, then why did we go through what we went through?
Absolutely.
To not pass it on to them and
Absolutely.
not show them that there's a better way to do it.
Yes, I agree. My son knows all about it.
Yeah.
I've worked in treatment, you know, so he's been around it. I start AA meetings out by my house. Like I've had guys come to my house that I'm taking them through the work.
Yeah.
You know, so he watches all that, man.
Well, I found out today that you owned the treatment center that I went to
At one point,
time,
yeah.
and it's no longer open, and it sucks that it's not. But man, that was a fucking phenomenal. That place saved my life.
I love that.
Yeah, place saved
I
my life.
love that.
So
Beautiful.
Frank, I want to thank you for even coming here, man. It is huge that you came here and gave us some of your time. Very thankful for that. But I'm very thankful that someone like you exists.
yeah,
And as weird or maybe as odd as it sounds, I know that you had to go through all of that tough shit to make the guy that I'm grateful that exists. So I'm even grateful for those times in a weird way. You know,
Me too,
I'm glad you made it through there and got here.
yeah.
I appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, no, thank you, dude. Thank you so
Seriously.
much.
Seriously.
We met a real life David Goggins today.
Yes. Fucking A,
Frank
man.
Parisi.
Frank
motherfucking
Parisi.
Parisi.
Frank
the man of
Parisi.
many lives.
Frank
And
motherfucking
look,
The man of many lives.
Look, embrace abundance. Do yourself a motherfucking favor and go get this book.
Amazon.
Amazon is where
Amazon
it's at.
bestseller
Yeah.
in Canada, Germany, and America in motivation and survival categories.
Well,
Yeah.
let's fucking blow this thing up. Let's do what we can for him. This is incredibly personal. You can tell. I will promise you I will have this read within the next week.
Give me feedback on it,
And I
please.
will. Absolutely,
Yeah.
I will. And how do people find you?
Follow me at Frank Parisi 2011 on Instagram. I also have a coaching program. You could get that at frank-parisi.com/coaching. I also want to give a shout out because I'm about to do some work with them down in San Antonio. My boy Jason Turner with Emotion Wellness.
Oh, shout out to them.
Yes. We aligned it's very synergetic in everything that we do.
Yep.
So I'm going to be helping his team out, and I'm really looking forward to that. Just things are really beautiful, man. Thank you guys so much for having me on today.
No, thank you.
Beyond like connection and love. And I definitely want to foster this relationship with you guys. No bullshit.
100%.
No,
Some real shit.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, our doors are always open to you, my
Yeah.
brother. And if you need us for anything,
I
fucking
appreciate
call
it.
us, and we'll be there.
on the
So,
way.
I appreciate it.
episode 24. It was, whew, it's a doozy. Episode 24. Please go like, subscribe. We're on all the podcast platforms now. Don't stop on YouTube. All that shit.
Follow us on TikTok,
Follow us
Instagram.
everywhere.
Drop those comments.
Drop the comments.
We'll be collaborating on posts, so that way if you can't find this page for some reason, you'll have no choice. We'll be there, man. We love y'all.
Well, we love everybody. Two Addicts and a Moron, episode 24.
Fahim in
Oh,
Dhaka,
yeah.
Bangladesh.
Fahim.
Fahim.
We reached out.
Representing.
We want to give a shout out to our Bangladesh listener, Fahim. Hey, man, thank you so much, brother. That's fucking crazy.
And if you see us out in public,
love it.
it is us.
Yeah.
It is. It's not a mirage. It is us. Feel free to stop. I love taking pictures.
We love it.
I love taking pictures.
If you see Frank out, fucking holler at him.
Yeah, 'cause,
Yes.
I mean, you can't
Say
miss
what's
us,
up.
you know?
Yeah.
yeah, well,
For real, stop us. Say what's
well,
up.
just like that, Two Addicts and a Moron. We are out.
Out.
Peace.
Be good.